The Old Man River rises on the eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountains. It pours through a gap in the Livingstone Range and flows through a broad landscape of forested foothills, bunchgrass prairie, ranches and farms between the Porcupine Hills and the Rockies.
Generations of landowners have cared for this place, and all Alberta has benefited.
I was born in 1927, so been here ever since.
Hilton's always been concerned about keeping the land the way it should be and looking after it, and so that's what we've worked at through the years. We did fence the creek to keep the cattle off it, and we've had different ways of watering the cattle so that they're not getting into the creek, and our son is carrying on with that very well, and son and daughter-in-law, they're very, very aware of it, and they're very, very good about carrying on with that sort of thing.
The Livingstone landowners are stewards of much of the province's most important watersheds, a biologically diverse landscape, and a sustainable rural economy.
So we've been members of the Livingstone Landowners Group for almost 10 years. And I think it started with some of the seminars and information sessions they were hosting on use of the land, on sort of the native grasses, the landscape here, the hiking, all the great activities that are in this area. But learning from some people who are members of the group, as well as some of the invited people they would have talking about land use. It's been a tremendous experience. We have terrific people on our board. We have terrific members, all very keen to learn a variety of things in this area. Everything from, again, the weather, the wildlife, the wind, and wonderful people that are living in this area who have a vast diversity of experience and knowledge, and it's a great community.
Hikers, anglers, and hunters are among thousands of people who visit to enjoy the open spaces, freedom, and abundant fish and wildlife.
Native rough fescue grassland and rare forest communities persist and flourish. Species that are endangered or at risk elsewhere continue to thrive here because of careful stewardship.
Our community sustains a strong rural economy and intact ecosystems. Here on the wind-shaped landscape between the Livingstone Range and the Porcupine Hills, we know that where we are is who we are, and that who we are matters.
I think it's one thing for people who live in the area to understand or to value the richness of this area. It's a step away when Calgarians that go to Fernie on weekends or people that are on holiday and drive through this area recognize how beautiful it is and gain enjoyment from it. But this is a unique area in that it is easy and accessible for Calgarians or for people outside the area to gain that same sort of wow factor or wow feeling when they drive through this area. You know it's a special area. You maybe don't understand why, or you don't have all the nuances or break it down into the different levels or detail, but you still have that, wow, this is an amazing area.
But threats always arise. Oil and gas development plays, new mine proposals, electric power lines, wind turbines, large-scale commercial logging. There always seems to be someone with a plan to change our home landscape into something different and less sustainable.
Most people probably don't worry about houses being built and things being developed, but ever since I was little, I know I've had almost nightmares of the land getting segregated and houses being built and developed. So it's heartbreaking to me to see a lot of development happening, and I know it's such a special area too, so.
The Livingstone landowners don't oppose development, but we're determined to ensure it doesn't come at the cost of the enduring values we cherish, and that it gets done responsibly and with care.
You know, what we've, as a group, have all agreed on is that, as Bruce said earlier, you can't stop change. And the world's going to turn, and there's going to be development. There's going to be those things happening. But if you can really be serious about doing it in a sustainable way, in a high quality and best practice way, you can do it without damaging the environment around. So, you know, that a little bit like Cody's saying, it's all about balance. But the more that you can ensure that best practices and you understand the impact of the environment of what you're doing and those kind of things, then you can withstand the development. But if you just go willy-nilly, it doesn't take much to wipe it out. So I think that's kind of our philosophy.
Yeah, this new land use plan is going to help a lot. Keep everything connected and work as one whole picture, and it'll make a big difference if we can continue on the next 10, 15, 20 years with the plan.
The Livingstone Landowners Group will always stand up for the well-being of the land and waters on which we are privileged to live, because good stewardship really matters for our families, our community, and for the future of our Alberta.